Hey, everybody out there. This is Dirty D with your Pro Sports Podcast. Uh, First off, let me give you guys a brief introduction to my channel. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to accomplish setting up kind of like a, YouTube PTI. I'd like to hear from other fan bases out there and of all pro sports. I'd love to hear from all of y'all. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to open up a open platform and an open forum where we can all discuss stuff. We don't have a whole lot on the docket as far as sports are going on right now. They're looking to come back, and hey, I'll have more stuff to cover. We'll have more stuff to talk about, but that's pretty much what I'd like to do. That's pretty much how I'd like to set up this page. So if you like the idea, like, comment, subscribe. We'll call that the trifecta. Um, I'll try to make response videos to everybody as soon as I possibly can. And, maybe we can keep ourselves busy in the interim until our favorite teams come back. Uh, and so, what I'm going to do is, in this first video, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and give my unbiased, as much as possible, opinion of Bleacher Report's overall grading process for the NFL draft this season. So let me go ahead and jump in by saying I thought about a lot of things, and I am going to do it where because I am not very tech savvy and I've been struggling with a lot of stuff, so I'm shooting it on my phone right now. But I've been thinking of a lot of different ways to do this draft analysis, and honestly, the easiest way I can think to do it is to break it down by team. And just shoot a video individually and upload them individually for every team. And so, one of the things I wanted to do, and one of the reasons I'm going to do my Broncos first, isn't just because they're my favorite team, but it's because I was able to actually be in this fan base's shoes and look at it completely objectively and actually look at it from my point of view. And it's probably a lot of Broncos Country point of view because we've been screaming for some certain additions to certain positions and building up depth and talent at those positions. Primarily offensive line, in my opinion. And I know we got a couple of guys in the draft this season, but I just don't think that we overall got enough people or enough talent through the draft this season on the offensive line to have gotten better. Just in my opinion, again, guys. I could be wrong. Broncos Country, if you do disagree with me, if you do think I'm wrong, I'd love to hear from you guys. I'd love to have you guys comment, and I'll respond to you guys as best as possible. I know you guys are classy, so I won't even say to keep it clean because, stay classy, Denver. And you're always classy, so I don't have to bring it up. But let's go ahead and jump into this, and I'll start off by saying Bleacher Report gave us an overall A minus. There were a lot of very impactful picks in this draft, and I don't think that Elway had a horrible draft. This wasn't the 2017 draft where I think now that Garrett Bowles is gone, I'm pretty sure there's only like maybe one guy left on the roster from that draft. It definitely wasn't that draft. It was more on par with last year's draft, which if you guys were, around for last year's draft, we all know the impact that it had. It had, Drew Lock, Dalton Reisner, a couple other guys. Um, Noah Fant. Uh, you know, Guys, again, they didn't do a terrible job, but from my perspective, they didn't do an adequate job. And the adequate job being addressing our offensive line, which has been very porous, other than our rookie stud, Dalton Reisner. Um, they signed Graham Glasgow in the offseason from Detroit, and he's possibly a center slash guard. So is Berry, one of the draft picks that I'll go into later. Um, all good additions. But let's say Glasgow ends up being our center. Let's say the kid we drafted ends up being our guard. So we have, and let's say JaJuan, this is all hypothetical, by the way, folks, because we all know that the big question mark there is JaJuan James. And we all know, too, that Garrett Bowles is no longer I don't know if they're going to keep him or re-sign him or what's going on, but I know they declined the 5th-year option, so they may work something out at a different rate, which if that ends up being the case, then I still think he's overpaid. Because personally, I mean, you could pay me whatever whatever league minimum is, and I could go out and hold somebody 4 times in a game. And so that's kind of, again, the reason I feel like I had to make this video was, for one, I saw the draft they gave us and I was like, that's ridiculous. Then I kept looking into stuff and they gave other people even more ridiculous grades. So this video and these videos that are pertaining to the NFL draft, I want everyone to know that I'm looking at it from a fan's perspective if I were a fan of your franchise. And a lot of franchises I'm not educated on. I know some fan bases. I know some Raider fans. I know some Chief fans. Honestly, I don't know a whole lot of different fans because I live in Denver. And here in Denver is Bronco Country. So it's 90% Bronco Country. There's some stragglers from Steelers and other teams. But hey, it is what it is. We live in a free and open society, and those people are free to live in our Bronco Country. It is what it is. Again, folks, it is what it is. All right, so let me just jump into the picks. Again, Bleacher Report gave us an overall A-. Broncos Country, I'm just going to go ahead and drop it flat out and let y'all know. I gave us a D-. And I'll get into that here in a bit. Let me jump into the picks, and let me start off by saying Jerry Jeudy was a great pickup. If I think any of the wide receivers that were in the draft this season are NFL ready, it's absolutely Jerry Jeudy. So that was a hell of a pickup. But, again, not an O-lineman, but hey, whatever. Jerry Jeudy is a number 1 day starter at a position that we did lack depth in and talent. You know, it's pretty much Cortland Sutton, and there was a couple guys, like I said. I think I'm a big Tim Patrick fan, and I'm a big Deshawn Hamilton fan. I think Deshawn Hamilton finally started showing what he's capable of there at the end of the season. So who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Bronco Country, if you disagree. I know that drop in Oakland had me questioning his talents, and guys, again, let me know what you guys think, Bronco Country. It's important that I hear from you guys more than anybody. But, you know, I just disagree with, again, I don't disagree with Jerry Jeudy. That's a good pick. I'll put it like that. Round 2, with the 46th pick overall, we picked KJ Hamler at wide receiver out of Penn State. And I was watching the draft, and as soon as I seen that, I was like, man, we got Deshawn Hamilton out of Penn State. So if you guys don't have faith in Deshawn Hamilton, who you drafted a couple years ago, and you're drafting another receiver, why are you going to go and pick him up out of the same school? You know what I mean? Why are you going to go and pick? I think Deshawn Hamilton was a 2nd-round pick. Broncos Country, if I'm wrong, let me know. Educate me. Please, I love hearing from you. But I'm pretty sure he was a 2nd-round pick out of Penn State. And I was just like, oh, man, here we go again. That's not why I had that reaction with the pick, though. I think in the 2nd round there, guys, there was offensive tackles that were available that, let's face it, guys, we can't keep trying to put Band-Aids on these issues. We put Band-Aids on the Joe Flacco thing. We put that Band-Aids on the quarterback position with the Case Keenum thing. Jared Valdir was a Band-Aid for a year. You know, we shuffled Conor McGregor around to dip various different positions, and finally we decided to let Paradis go, who was one of the best, if not the best center in the NFL that year, even with injury. We let him go. We put Conor McGovern in at the Conor McGovern at the center position, and this season we let him go. I don't understand how you plan on building any continuity on a position and a unit that's already very weak. You can't bolster a weak unit by losing your best leaders of that unit. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Broncos Country, let me know. Um, but at the end of the day, again, I think in the second round, with no dig and no insult to KJ Hamler, I still think we should have addressed the offensive line. In the third round, with the 77th pick, we took Michael Oh Jim Moody, cornerback, Iowa. Now, I actually think that was a good pick because we lost Strap Harris, and Broncos Country, y'all know one of our biggest weaknesses was the secondary last season. Um, is this kid better than Isaac Yadam? I sure hope so, because if he's not, then he ain't going to be in the NFL. Because Isaac Yadam, kid is a tough mentally as they come, but I don't think he's nearly talented enough to be a starting cornerback in the NFL, let alone on our defense that we've grown accustomed to having a good secondary. So this kid was a good pickup because he's a second team All Big Team, All Big Ten. Then we picked up in the third round with the 83rd pick, Lloyd Berry III, the offensive lineman at LSU. Yes, thank you. You know what would have looked a lot better before that, though? The corner looked really good. But what would have looked a lot better before that is a tackle, or even before that, a tackle. Or even before that, I don't think Broncos Country would have been pissed at him if they took a tackle with their first overall pick, the number 15 pick. I know I wouldn't have been. But there was just too many weapons in this draft. I understand it. I understand that. But getting into these later rounds, man, you look at it. Round 3. McTelvin Ajim, defensive tackle, Arkansas. Why did we trade for Jarrell Casey? Why did we re-sign Shelby Harris? And if we needed more depth at the defensive tackle position, why not sign Derek Wolfe, who had already said he was going to take a pay cut for us? I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy, man. But I feel like the barn is on fire, and these guys just don't want to douse it out. They're just watching it burn, man. We finally got a quarterback. In my opinion, I think Drew Lock has a very serious potential to end up being a franchise quarterback, a guy that you can build around, who could possibly compete with Mahomes for 15 years. But at the rate that Elway keeps building these lines, he might be able to compete with them for never. They'll never compete with the Chiefs. But he might be able to at least, make us look like we were in the game if he can have some kind of protection, some kind of weapons, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what the thought process is there at Broncos Country. Maybe y'all can enlighten me. Maybe there's someone that works at Dove Valley that's not drinking the Kool-Aid. They could tell me what the heck they're thinking. But all right, whatever. We added depth to a position where we re-signed 2 people and traded for a third, and could have re-signed our own guy that we knew what he was. Gets hurt a lot, but we knew what he was. Round 4. This is actually one of the later round picks that I agree with. The 118th pick overall, Albert. I'm not going to try that last name. The tight end out of Missouri. I don't disagree with that. What I do disagree with, however, is signing Nick Vannett and still having Jake Butt and Jeff Hireman on this roster. If you're going to sign Nick Vannett, pick a tackle right there. Right there. Maybe I'm wrong, Broncos Country. I mean, I agree with the pick. I understand the kid has chemistry with our quarterback, Drew Lock. I can live with it. I can dig it, folks. But at the end of the day, unless that kid can play offensive tackle too, I keep beating my drum, and I keep pulling my hair out and saying, hey, we don't have a left tackle. Or if JaJuan James is switching to the left side, we don't have a right tackle. Garrett Bowles is no longer with the franchise. I'll say that's an addition by subtraction. I think he needed a fresh start, and I think We need a fresh start at that position. But unless this kid, the tight end out of Missouri, can play tackle, I don't know what we're going to do. Round 5, we picked with the 178th pick, we picked up Justin Strand, outside linebacker out of Wake Forest. Good pick, too little, too late. Basically what I see out of Strand is another Josie Jewell, and that's not to be in any way misconstrued because of anything other than you picked a later round backer who probably is lacking some size or some speed, or there is something that's missing with that kid that didn't make him into one of the top picks, like Arizona. The kid Arizona got, I think it's Justin Simmons, the linebacker. Yeah, I think this was just a poor draft pick, guys. At this point, you know, again, I'm standing on the drum beating it to saying, hey, Elway, are we going to address the offensive line? Because if we were going to pick a linebacker, we needed an impact linebacker way up top. But it is what it is. We needed depth at that position, I guess. It is what it is. I know we re-signed Todd Davis. It is what it is. A.J. Johnson came on big at the end of last season, so I'm excited. Maybe this is the kid that solidifies that linebacking core. Let me know, Bronco Country. I don't see it, but let me know, Bronco Country. Round 6, with the 181st pick, we picked up Amadi Mutombo from offensive lineman from Fresno State. Yes. But with 6th round picks, guys, they're fighting an uphill struggle to try to make the roster. So that means that they're not necessarily going to be a day one starter. They might just be a special teams guy. They might be on the practice squad. So we don't know. Hopefully that kid turns out being our other tackle and a bookend. Then we'd be set. But I don't have a lot of hope for it in the 6th round. I could be wrong. Broncos Country, let me know. Educate me if he's the best offensive lineman that we could have possibly have gotten at that pick. Let me know. He might be. I just don't think I don't think he's good enough to make an impact if we're picking him there. Round 7 with the 252nd pick. Excuse me, guys. We picked up Tyree Cleveland, wide receiver out of Florida. Again, add more depth to those playmakers. Hey, I'm not against it. What I am against is stuff like this. With the round set in round 7, we picked 254. We picked up Derek Suska, defensive end, North Dakota State. Probably another special teamers if we're lucky. Which honestly, if we're lucky, and any of these guys play special teams and play good at special teams, then we'll be in a better spot on our special teams unit than we were last year because they were among the bottom of the league. Guys, again, the 7th round pick, I get we might not get a starting offensive lineman. I get we might not even get a guy that might be on the team, that might not even make the team, I mean. But what's going on with Isaiah Wilkinson's contract? Can somebody tell me that, Bronco Country? I hope somebody knows out there because I don't. We let Garrett Bowles walk. Again, that's an addition by subtraction. We all watched that monstrosity of a game against Chicago where he had 4 holding penalties in a game, and hey, the whole crowd was booing him in Denver. And the Bears left tackle is also number 72, and he got called for a holding. And it was so bad that Fox, who was covering the game, actually had to pan in to Garrett Bowles on the bench to make sure Denver fans at home knew it wasn't him. There was 2 72s, and one was from Chicago, and he was holding this time. Again, that's an addition by subtraction, but how many years are we going to keep asking for the line to be addressed? And every year they do the bare minimum. I could be wrong, Broncos Country. Maybe we got guys waiting in the wings. Maybe we got stuff set up that I don't know about, Broncos Country. Educate me, man. And anyone else watching this video, Educate me. Let me know if you have any knowledge that I don't know as far as what's going on with the Broncos. Let me know because I don't know what the heck's going on. I think they're drinking some Kool-Aid out there that Mr. Elway is making in his bathtub or something. And I think that's the case. I think that's what's going on at Dove Valley. I think for far too long, he's been bouncing ideas off a wall. So all he's hearing is echoes of his own ideas. And at what point is it going to be enough? Is it this season? Is it next season? I don't know. Anyway, overall, I gave the Denver Broncos a D minus. Bleacher Report gave them an A minus. I know Broncos Country. There's gonna be plenty of fans that disagree. There's gonna be plenty of fans that agree. But you're all classy, and so Denver, keep it classy. Leave a like, leave a comment, and if you really like what I'm trying to set up here, drop me the trifecta, y'all. That's a like, subscribe, and a comment. And hopefully we can open up an ebb and flow and some conversation. And Broncos Country in particular, I'd love to hear from you. I'd like to start a Mile High pro sports podcast that's just dedicated to us. So if you're out there, Bronco Country, let me know. Drop a like, drop a comment. And if you really like the platform, the idea, everything that it could become, our own little PTI, drop the trifecta. Remember the trifecta. Subscribe, comment, like. Love you, Bronco Country. We'll see you in the regular season. Let's go Broncos.